What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty aka Doughtinator. Welcome back to the channel. We have exciting race for you here today. Round 3 of the Race Asylum Pro-Am series here at the RedBull ring, and overnight as forecast it's rained. So who will be on the top step of that podium up there today? Let's find out as we're going to get underway. It looks like Gr3 on the pole in that Porsche. We've seen him with some strong results already. Bobby in second, in Evo with a great qualifying. In third, fourth place, Kevman. Fantastic qualifying there. Baz, we saw him a little bit further down the field than we expect to see from Baz. So let's see how this one's going to play out. Wet track, it's going to be very difficult for the drivers today. I got out in the Porsche in a practice session a few days ago, and in the wet it's incredibly slippy, so we're going to see a lot of action on track as the cars get underway. Great start from Gr3. Looks like Bobby's got a solid start in second. Kevman's looking to the inside into turn 1. How will the cars get through turn 1? It's looking like it's mostly clean. Someone's just gone wide, I can see in the background, and it's Philo who's got a bit of a swaz coming down the straight there. Bit of side impact with Gr3. Grandpa Goes Gaming sandwiched in the middle of two cars going down into another big braking zone. How is this going to play out? Gr3 seems to have held on to first position there, and they're going to flow through this corner very nicely. Heat Seeker a little bit wide, but he's going to gather that one up okay. I've got to say, fantastic driving from all of the drivers in the wet weather, perfectly controlled into the braking zones, and everyone looks like they're getting through okay. This is going to be a challenging race. Keep a lookout in the black bar below. You'll see an indicator flashing for drivers using traction control. Some drivers are, some drivers are not. We're going to try and pick out those drivers as we go through. It's a very difficult driving experience, and we should do this more in GT Sport. This is absolutely fantastic. So you can see the cars streaming through the field there for lap number 1. Philo is down in 5th position, so is he going to have anything up his sleeve to climb through the order as the race goes on? Looking forwards, Gr3, he's making a break for it from P1. Bobby running in second, in Evo fantastic in third, Kevman holding on to 4th, Philo in 5th, Ant Smasher running in 6th, Gr3 7th, Grandpa Goes Gaming excellent 8th position, Sean 9th, Lucky Bucky 10th, and they're going to file through to finish their first lap. Baz already up to 11th, so maybe he's got that car set up for the race, not so much a qualifying car, and we're running through the order now. So 15th is Giba. Looks like he had a bit of a difficulties there on lap number 1. So we're on lap number 2 now, and the cars are starting to spread out a little bit, but we've got Philo going side by side with Kevman into the big braking zone. How's this one going to play out? Who's going to be brave? Who's going to get it right? Who's going to get it wrong? And it looks like they've both got it right. Philo to the inside. Kevman has just about got that car stopped as well. So Philo up to 4th position now. This is a 50-minute race, so a bit of an endurance race for you right now in the wet. So it's going to be difficult to get a clean race. As Ant Smasher to the inside of Kevman. They're both a little bit deep on the brakes, but they both make it stick. And Ant Smasher with a fantastic move there in his AMG Mercedes, and it looks like Gr3 is looking for a move on Kevman now. How's that one going to play out? Ant Smasher with a drift into the keyhole section of the track, kept that nicely under control. You can see that the conditions look absolutely treacherous, not much grip on the track. So yeah, it is a 50-minute race. Most likely everyone's going to need to pit for fuel, as Baz is looking to the inside of Grandpa Goes Gaming. He's going to switch to the outside. How's this one going to play out now? He's just dropped back in line. Baz has thought the sensible thing to do is, no, he's gone to the inside now. Baz to the inside of Grandpa Goes Gaming, and he makes that move stick. Careful with track limits. Track limits at RedBull ring are very difficult, and made doubly difficult with the conditions, but so far so good. I've not seen any penalties from any drivers, so excellent work to every single driver out there on the track today. And looks like Baz is then up to 10th. Grandpa Gaming in 11th. They hit Melty is running in 12th position. I think I've just seen Mackie RS go a little bit deep into turn 1. He's going to gather that one up and recover from that. That's not a problem. Keeping the car facing in the right direction is what it's all about in this very challenging wet race. Gr3 maybe has had an error at some point, looking like he's not quite comfortable with these challenging wet weather conditions. He's going to be looking to get his head down and just get some good race pace going. Bobby running in second. Traction control is not enabled on Bobby's car, so that's all him driving it with a delicate right foot, just to keep the car under control. Now it's unknown if traction control will help with your lap time, or if it will just make the car safer to drive but perhaps not give you the best overall lap time. But certainly when I was testing, traction control just helps the consistency by far. So if I was driving, I'd use it. Bobby is going full hero spec and he's going without traction control. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to say traction control, but we'll call it TCS from now on. That's going to make life a lot easier. So solid drive so far with Bobby. Running, it looks like he's got some good lap times there, but Gr3 has almost checked out there at the front. But we'll see how the fuel plays out as the race progresses, because could be drivers doing some fuel saving, certainly with this difficult wet weather conditions. As you can see, the rain coming down, it's absolutely raining cats and dogs. So we've got Ant Smasher in 5th position, Kevman in 6th position. Solid drive from Kevman so far, absolutely fantastic qualifying, put him in 4th on the grid, and so far so good for Kevman. Gorilla Gaz in an impressive 7th position in that aggressive looking Corvette. And we're going to look through the field now to try and find some battles on track. It looks like people are spreading out a little bit, as it looks like Baz is going to go around the outside of Sean into the hairpin. Is he going to get the drive out the corner? And maybe not quite. Baz again without TCS. If he can deliver that power to the floor with his right foot, he's probably going to get some advantage, but it's going to require a lot of skill. So Baz is going to look to the inside. Sean gets it crossed up on the brakes, manages to hold on to that. That was a fantastic catch, but it's going to leave him under pressure from Baz. I think Baz has got through, so Baz has put Sean under the pressure there, and Sean caught that amazing slide, but Baz is through, and it looks like now Sean versus Lucky Bucky in the background there. We've seen this battle happen. It's like their cars are on board, because Kevman has made a mistake. We're just gonna have to skip back now to see what actually happened there. So Kevman running in 6th position, he's going to get on the throttle using no traction control, and he's just going to loop it out. He's managed to keep it facing the right way, but he's through the gravel, and that's going to cost him a huge amount of time. So he's going to gather that one back up again and hopefully race forwards. So we can look forwards now. We've got Lucky Bucky, Sean. Yeah, these cars seem to be attached by a bungee cord. Every single round this season so far, they've been battling on the track, no matter where it's been. So Lucky Bucky is up to 9th position. Will he be making progress much further forward? So Lucky Bucky just put in his fastest lap of the race. So maybe he's getting his car dialed in now, tyres fully up to temperature, and he's going to get a good exit out of turn 1, it seems, and he's going to go all the way on the track. Yet checking on the data, no traction control for Lucky Bucky. So that's all on him. Gentle right foot is required, but it's good to see these drivers. So that's the first penalty. I just saw the first penalty of the race now. So we're almost 8 minutes into the race, and to see the first penalty then is very impressive. So Grandpa Goes Gaming running in 11th position. In a post-race interview with Grandpa Goes Gaming, he was very pleased with his driving this one, running consistent lap times, and that's exactly what we want to see. This is a Pro-Am league, so there's a big spread in skill level between the fastest and the slowest drivers on track. Mackie RS looking solid there in his Porsche. These drivers are going to be looking to get consistent lap times and deal with this challenging racetrack. So there are 15 drivers on the track. The 16th element of danger is the track itself. More than anything, these drivers will be battling with the track rather than their fellow competitors. And winning that battle right now is Gr3. He's just checked out in the lead there. Ian Evo, we've not heard a lot from him so far, but he's running in 3rd position. Fantastic so far. Ant Smasher getting it sideways onto the start-finish straight. Baz is up to 6th. Sean is running in 8th position, chasing down Gorilla Gas. So we're going to look at Baz now. Looks like he's got some good lap times going on there, and he's going to get on the brakes into turn 1. Looks like he's going to stay nicely within track limits, applying the power very gently, and he's going to be chasing down Ant Smasher. Let's see how long it's going to take him to bridge that gap. It's going to be interesting to see how far up the field Baz can get, because he started in absolute dead last position. And we're going to ride on board now with Baz to see how he's going to be dealing with these conditions. So check out the steering inputs, throttle input, catching that slide on the corner exit, just to get the car going in a straight line. These conditions are really challenging for the drivers on this wet weather track. It's quite a different experience to what's normally for a GT Sport race. He's going to nicely hit that apex, looking to balance that throttle, and he's massively on the throttle, correcting the car as it's squirming underneath him. He's going to go into these double left-hander on the brakes, turning in very, very delicately. You need a fine touch when it comes to wet weather driving. The curbs aren't too bad, not too much of a risk out there on the curbs for Baz, and he's going to be looking to catch into the back of Ant Smasher, and we can see that gap coming down visually as he's going to make his way forwards using all of the track. That right-hander there, it's a nothing corner in the dry, but in the wet, getting on the throttle while you still have to have some steering on when you want to be getting on full throttle, it becomes very challenging. So you're trying to minimize the corner radius, get on the throttle, control the wheel spin. It's difficult. It really is difficult. I enjoyed the practice session I took part in earlier on this week, and we should do more wet weather racing for sure. Let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying this wet weather race. If you'd like to know more about this league and anything to do with getting faster in GT Sport, check out the description below. There'll be a link to the Race Asylum Discord. You can get yourself signed up for future league events or any random lobby races that we choose to take part in now. So get yourself signed up to the Race Asylum Discord, and we can help you get faster in GT Sport. So we've got Mackie RS. Looks like he's gone deep into turn 1. But he's managed to gather that one up. Keeping the car facing in the right direction is the key to this track. And I don't think he'll pick up a penalty there because he didn't gain any time from that track limit exertion. Heatseeker, fan of the channel, always good to see him in the comments interacting with the videos, and also very active in the Race Asylum Discord. So new to the series for this round, and what a way to enter the series with a wet race at RedBull Ring. So Heatseeker's looking good, looking to get some consistency out of that Lexus, a car we've not seen in the series yet so far. Looking forward through the pack, we're going to skip forward now. It looks like Baz has made it past Ant Smasher into 5th position. He's going to put a massive dive on Philo. Unexpected move there. I don't know if Baz was surprised by the braking, but Philo gets a massive swaz on the corner exit, and Baz goes up to 4th position. So one of the most unexpected passes I think I've seen. Maybe Philo is conservative on the brakes, saving tyres, saving fuel, lifting, coasting maybe. But Baz, I think, surprised by that move, threw it to the inside and made that move happen. And he's still on for a personal best lap time. Skipping forwards now, we're going to look at Gr3, see how he's getting on. And he's Heatseeker with a massive loss of traction there. He's managed to avoid Gr3 coming back onto the track. Let's just see what happened there. So we're going to just check out Heatseeker. He's going to probably get a bit too aggressive on the throttle. He touched the grass and he's going to get a massive slide backwards, and he's caught that one back in line with where he's going, and that is absolutely fantastic recovery from Heatseeker. Treacherous conditions, and he's still crashing. He's managed to gather that one up. So absolutely fantastic recovery from Heatseeker. I don't think we're going to see a better recovery than that today. And another crash you can see happening. Lucky Bucky has made a mistake. Let's find out what happened there. Into turn 1. The crashes are starting to happen now. A little bit of inconsistency from the drivers. He's just going to get on the throttle and just lose it on corner exit, lock up the brakes to try and recover, and lucky bookie with an error. So the mistakes are really starting to happen now, and a lot of these drivers just having mistakes on their own, not really being challenged by other drivers. So Gorilla Gaz in 7th position, running very strongly in 7th position. Probably the best performance we've seen of the season so far for Gorilla Gaz in that fantastic looking Corvette. And he's going to get on the brakes into the difficult downhill braking zone. You can see the wet track to the inside is probably where you want to be avoiding. And yeah, it's difficult to get the car stopped into that one. So Gorilla Gaz with a bit of a slide. He's going to copy exactly what Heat Seeker has done, but he's gathered it up. Sean is gone off the track. Unbelievable stuff. He's heat-seeking missile, and he's just made an impact. Unbelievable stuff we're seeing there. Once Sean was on the wet grass, he was just a passenger. Let's try and figure out what actually happened there. Let's just take that back now. Riding on board with Sean, you can see Gaz has had his crash. Sean gets a bit of a swaz. He's stuck. He can't do anything. He's just uncontrolled through the wet grass, unable to really change the angle of the car or anything, and super unfortunate just to take out Gorilla Gaz. They're going to recover and not really lose any positions, it seems, but a very unfortunate incident there between the two drivers. Is Kevman going to capitalise on that unbelievable incident? And he's almost made the same mistake as he made earlier on in the race. Gorilla Gaz is back up to speed in 7th position. So I'm going to skip forward now. Baz is starting to close Ian Evo down for 3rd position. So Baz is looking strong for a podium here today. And it's got to be said, driving very, very tidy, doing everything he needs to do. And he's now in the slipstream of Ian Evo. He's had a quiet race in 3rd position, running consistent lap times, keeping out of trouble, which is exactly what you need to do in these difficult wet weather conditions. So a little bit deep from Ian Evo. Baz is trying to get the car turned, and he's doing everything he can to keep the car under control in the acceleration zone. And it's going to be a drag race into the next big braking zone. Difficult to get the car stopped in this downhill braking zone. Bobby is also not too far ahead, so Baz is really reading in the field. I think Gecko Racer, we've not seen much from him so far, but he's having his own race out front, dominating the field. And Ian Evo with a wide line there. Is Ian Evo going for a move on Bobby? Somehow Bobby's lost a huge amount of time, and it's gone. The battle for 2nd position has become a 3-car battle, and Baz is going to go to the outside around this left-hander. He's going to think better of that. He's going to try and fall back in line behind Ian Evo. So massive slide from Bobby. He's managed to catch that one. Ian Evo's lost a position to Baz, and now Bobby is going to be under threat from the hard charging Baz through the field in the NSX. A car we've discussed early on in the 2 power circuits early on in round 1 and round 2, but in the wet weather this NSX is coming to life. Baz is expertly guiding it around the track, and is Ian Evo going to actually fight back on Baz? Is he looking for a move into turn 1? Let's see what happens here. Looks like they're going to follow through in order. So the Corvettes that are sandwiching Baz right now, they do have the power, but getting the power to the track in this wet weather conditions is almost impossible. So the NSX that Baz is driving, more of a handling car, it certainly seems to be the car to choose right now. And he's just going to carve through that hairpin corner, get on the throttle. Now all 3 of these drivers, I think I think it was just Baz and Bobby running without TCS. It looks like Philo's also running without TCS, and Baz to the inside of Bobby. Is he going to make that move happen? He's going to almost back out. That fantastic driving for both drivers, great awareness from Bobby. He knew that Baz was on the way to the inside of the corner. Once you're really committed, you can't change your line. So Bobby just gave enough room, but managed to carry his speed around the corner and keep that 2nd place. So we're on board now with Bobby, looking back to Baz in 3rd position. He's really all over the gearbox of the Corvette of Bobby, and as you can see right now, almost bumper to bumper as they're going to go into the corner for the end of the lap. Is Baz going for a move? Difficult move to pull off. He's going to think better of it. He's going to back out, but that's going to give Bobby a lot to think about. is a rear view mirror full of Baz, and it's going to be difficult to keep racing forwards. But so far Bobby is defending well. They're going to both go to the inside, and it's just a wall of spray. Baz is going to go to the outside, a little bit of squeeze on the outside from Bobby, trailing a bit of paint as they go into turn one, and the battle for second place is on. Baz from the back of the grid. Bobby has been running a consistent race from the front, and we'll see how this one plays out. So tyre wear for both drivers. Looks like rears are getting more of a workout than the fronts, so as the race progresses, the car is going to be more front bias for general handling. And Ian Evo is still threatening there in the fourth position, waiting to capitalise on anything that these two drivers can throw away here. Looking into the big braking zone, Bobby's going to cover off the inside, send Baz to the outside, and he's going to try and maybe go for a switchback. I don't think Bobby is quite allowing that to happen. He's just covering it, but they are going to go side by side. That inside for Baz is going to be the outside. Both cars get a bit of wild on the throttle. Baz is going to try and hang it around the outside of this corner. Fantastic driving from both these drivers. Side by side again, both drivers with no TCS, and they're still side by side. It's going to become the inside for Baz for the next corner, just keeping it under control, and that's fantastic stuff there from Baz. Baz is now up to second place from the back of the grid. Bobby expertly defended, but ultimately Baz's pace just didn't quite, just had a bit too much pace for Bobby right there. As Bobby's going to try and fight back straight away. The best thing to do in racing, if you get past, try and repass that driver. Just become a real pain, as Bobby is really hard on the throttle. The car is all over the place. This is great driving from both drivers. Philo to the pits now, looking on the leaderboard. Philo is going to make his pit stop. It's not quite the half race distance, but he's going to try and probably capitalise on these drivers battling and get himself some clear track. So he's yet to arrive into the pit box, but he will be making that pit stop and coming out hopefully for a strong second half of the race. Bobby's back past Baz. How did that happen? We must have missed that one. Let's try and find out what happened there. So it looks like it was into turn one. Bobby has just sent it back past Baz. Yeah, it was switchback into turn one. Maybe Baz didn't quite get the drive out of the final corner, so Bobby has made that pass happen. All these time that these drivers battling, it might play into the hands of Philo, and it's certainly playing into the hands of Gr3, who is basically in another race right now. I've got to label him wet weather specialist Gr3. I was out on the practice track with him earlier in the week, and he made a fool of me, I've got to say. So I'm quite pleased to see him with such pace in the race. It makes me feel a little bit better. But it looks like Bobby and Baz having an absolutely stonking battle. Baz to the inside, almost off the track. He's going to switch to the inside now, which becomes the outside into the downhill braking zone. Are they going to get their cars stopped? Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? And it's both drivers absolutely perfectly on their brakes there. Superb skill from these drivers here. Bobby's just going to cover off that switchback. Nothing that Baz can really do here. Expertly defended, but he's going to go to the inside anyway and think better of it. Ian Evo is still in the picture, running in fourth position, waiting to pick up the pieces to see what can happen between these two drivers. I've got to say, strong drive from Ian Evo so far. Best driver of the season, I think. Ant Smasher with his favoured Tokyo Drift corner entry, running in fifth position. Again, strong drive from Ant Smasher. Gr3 up to sixth position, probably because of Philo's pit stop. As we can see, Philo there in seventh position. So he has exited the pits in seventh, and he's going to look to make progress towards the end of the race. So no more pit stops for Philo. Baz and Bobby both into the pits now on the leaderboard feed. That'll be their only pit stop. It's looking like a one-stop strategy is the way forwards. Tyre wear isn't so high. So Kevman now running in eighth position. This is where things are going to start to get a bit random with pit stops. Drivers could be out of sequence because it's quite a large pit stop window. So we are basically at the half race distance mark right now. Baz in the box, Bobby also in the box. A new set of wet tyres, no need to do a different tyre like we have in other rounds. With it being declared a wet race, only wet tyres are required. So Baz is going to be exiting the pits. And it looks like Bobby has made quite a bit of time on Baz in the pit stops, so maybe Bobby was saving fuel. So we've got a massive battle going down there. Philo is off the track, and on the brakes now, Bobby and Gorilla Gaz. Gorilla Gaz gets really crossed up on the brakes. Slight impact from Bobby. Philo is going to try and capitalise on that, and is going to get up to 4th position, side by side. We've seen this before in round 1. Philo versus Bobby now. And from nowhere, Philo has turned his race around. He's now battling. He's gone very deep. Surely that's too deep. On the brakes, he's going to get that stopped. Just about. Bobby's going to get that switchback. Baz has joined the action now. And it's going to be a 3-way battle for what's likely to be podium positions here. Once pit stops have all taken place. So we've got Baz in the sandwich now. He's going to get the cutback on here. He's going to lose the back end. He's managed to keep it in the right direction, but he's going to lose time there. Baz, with a little bit too much loud pedal, is just not quite gathered that one up. As we've got our leader, Gr3, has made his pit stop. He'll be exiting the pits now and making his way forwards. So that's that pit stop done for Gr3. Ant Smasher now is looking like he has made his pit stop, running in 9th position, going for a move to the inside of Gr3, who has recovered quite a long way since the early doors of the race. Gr3's going to switch back to the inside and make that move happen. And we've got Ant Smasher looking to make that move. Sean joining the party now. Got a 3-way battle once again. Fantastic stuff from all the drivers on the track here. They're going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Now they're going to think better of it. Ant Smasher to the inside. He's going to make that move happen again. Is he going to get cut back or slipstreamed down this other straight here? So Sean now is going to try and capitalise on this here. He's going to get in the slipstream of Ant Smasher, it seems, and he's going to make that move happen. So yeah, on the brakes now into the difficult hairpin. Ant Smasher just get a bit of a lock up. Gr3 runs a little bit wide, so Sean's going to make that happen. Up to 8th position for Sean. So much action going on the track. I'm sure I'm missing some of it. All these drivers are doing absolutely fantastic. This is a Race Asylum Pro-Am Championship. If you want to join Race Asylum, check out the link to the Discord in the description below. We like to talk about all things GT Sport and help everyone get faster in GT Sport. A lot of these drivers on track are in there, so you can get involved with them and just give them a big congratulations in the Discord, because this is some of the best racing I've seen and one of the most difficult tracks, with it being so wet. And the battle now for 2nd place is a 3-way battle. 2 spaces on the podium left available, and 3 drivers all want them spaces. It's looking like Gr3 is driving a solid race, so it's going to be his race to throw away. But in these wet conditions, anything can happen really. We've seen a lot of drivers have small errors which have ended up costing a lot of time. So Baz now looks to be one of the faster cars on the track, and he's closing into the battle for 2nd position. So it's going to become a 3-way battle. Let's see how these drivers are going to go into turn 1. Heatseeker sees the drivers in his mirror. Absolutely fantastic driver from Heatseeker. Very, very great track awareness. It's really good to see. Race Asylum is all about helping drivers improve their racing, whether it's track awareness, lap times, anything. All things to do with your driving. We can help you improve at Race Asylum. So it is a 3-way battle for 2nd position. Philo has completely turned this race around after not really being anywhere in qualifying. 5th position is not where Philo is going to be used to qualifying, and running in a bit of a disjointed 5th position towards the start of the race. He now finds himself running in 2nd after maybe a tactical first half of the race. Looking back now at Bobby, that Corvette with those yellow headlights is looking very threatening. Are we going to see any move happen into turn 1? He's thinking about it. He's just showing a nose, trying to distract Philo, and they're going to get onto the brakes. Bobby gives a little bit of room into the braking zone, a little bit wide from Philo. Bobby is going to get the drive out of turn 1, and he's going to have that huge power of that Corvette. Is that a bump draft? I think it probably is. Are they working together to try and bridge or extend that gap to Baz. That could be a tactic that's in play here, but Baz still has the slipstream of these drivers and arguably the more favoured car for these wet conditions. Certainly from what we've seen so far, Baz and the NSX is actually perfectly suited to these wet conditions at the Red Bull Ring. Looking back now, Ian Evo solidly in 5th position. Great drive so far. Grand Park Goes Gaming in the heady 6th position. Great drive so far from Grand Park Goes Gaming. I think he's yet to make his pit stop, but you can't argue with the race pace that he's showing. Has been quite phenomenal, really. Looking like he's under control, in control of that McLaren. A difficult car to drive, even in the dry. So yeah, absolutely solid performance so far from Grand Park Goes Gaming. Ant Smasher running in 7th position. Looks like he's fueled to the finish line. 8th position for Sean. Great drive so far from Sean. Gorilla Gaz running in 9th position. Looks like he will have enough fuel to the end. Kevman also looks like he's going to the end of the race in 10th position. And we've got Lucky Bucky in 11th. Maybe something has happened. He was running a much higher than that. You see on the screen, the rain is absolutely still pouring down. Yeah, fantastic stuff from these drivers in these very treacherous conditions. The battle for second place is still on fire. Bobby, Philo, nose to tail. Baz still within striking distance, but not quite able to close in the gap just yet. And they're going to get on the brakes into this big stop at the end of the straight here. And Baz he's really close. Or in fact, all 3 of these drivers running without TCS. So this is a hero battle for all 3 of these drivers. It looks like Philo just pulled a big gap as Bobby's going to defend to the inside. He's going to send Baz to the outside, and he's not going to be able to get that move done. But Philo looking to stretch his legs a little bit now. Maybe he knows he's good for fuel and he can drop the hammer and race flat out to the end of the race. Let's see how this one plays out. So now it's become Baz versus Bobby once again, but this time the battle's for 3rd position. A bit of swaz from the corner exit from Baz there, and we're going to look at these drivers going through to finish this 21st lap. 36 minutes on the clock, so we are starting to come towards the end of the race. I'm going to go side by side again, trading a bit of paint. So yeah, I think we're going to have to be looking at these 2 cars for any rubs and scrapes. Certainly doing hard battling. It's exactly what we want to see. I don't mind seeing a little bit of trading paint, as long as it's not too much impact, as Mackie RS is caught in a difficult situation, but he's done the right thing there. Philo has gone past. Mackie RS has just made the apex, and then it allows Baz and Bobby to go through. Slight compromise from Bobby maybe, but difficult situation that Mackie RS was in there. But all the drivers navigating that very well. So side by side once again, a little bit of door banging. But it looks like Baz has made that move stick. Bobby just can't get the drive out the corner to fight back now. Skipping forwards to the end of the race, Gecko Racer with faultless drive in 1st position, and he's going to cross the line. The time has expired, so as Gecko Racer crosses the line, he's going to take the victory for round 3 of this Race Asylum Pro-Am series. Huge congratulations to Gecko Racer. Solid drives in round 1 and 2, and he has to say, unchallenged in round 3 in the wet. As you can see from the behaviour of his car there, he is happy with that win, and he's going to bring it across the line. Baz has found his way into 2nd position, and by quite some margin it seems. So we didn't catch that move for the 2nd place, but Baz is going to be solidly in 2nd place from the back of the grid. Got to say, that is a great drive from me. And Philo in 3rd position. Great comeback. Looking a little bit out of sorts really at the start of the race, but Philo is the big race driver, and he's come back for a solid 3rd position. Bobby in 4th position. Great battles all race long from Bobby. I've got to say, very impressive drive. Ian Evo running in 5th position, and that is also a solid drive from Ian Evo. I think best of the season so far. Ant Smasher, fantastic drive, already finished in 6th position. Sean in 7th position, great drive from Sean. Gorilla Gaz in 8th, very eventful race for Gorilla Gaz, solid drive there. Kevman in 9th, Grandpa Goes Gaming in 10th position. Geber has made his way up to 12th position. Mackie RS 13th position, solid drive from Mackie RS. I think he would have enjoyed this race. And Heatseeker in 14th position. All drivers have done fantastic in this round. Huge congratulations to everybody, and we'll catch you in the next one.